It is 6 PM on June 28th, 2022, and we are going to open up a special meeting of the board. Appropriations meeting. Roll call, please.
I have trustees Chris Samples,
Here.
John Talbot,
Here.
William Luxinger is absent, Nathan Maz,
Here.
Jen Christensen,
Here.
Bill Motisi,
Here.
President Rick Worm,
Here.
Treasurer Brenda Onabini,
Here.
I Clerk Sandy Mazem here, Public Works Supervisor Brett Fergie,
Here.
and Attorney Mark Heinley.
Yes.
Who is going to do the?
Hmm?
Have the public, is it public even online?
Nope, there is no public online, but I think do we still have an obligation to open it.
We do. So we'll call the public hearing to order. Then someone can make some remarks, provide a general overview. You don't have to go into tremendous amount of detail unless you want to regarding the appropriation ordinance. And then there can be, I guess, board questions or discussion. And if somebody does wander in, we should at least offer the opportunity for public comment. And then we can close the meeting, adjourn the hearing, and then we'll vote on the enactment of the ordinance. I will note, once the hearing closes, but prior to the vote, you can make changes, and that is okay. So the hearing is an opportunity for you guys to identify if there are any tweaks you want to make, which can then be incorporated into your actual ordinance passage. So to begin, you just simply call the public hearing to order, and whoever wants to take lead in offering an overview of the ordinance.
Brenda, without William here, will you do that or do you want to do it?
Can I call the public hearing to order?
Okay, we'll call the public hearing to order.
Yep.
Brenda, do you want me to do it?
Without our finance trustee here?
Mine will be basic. You'll be.
The basic is
All
great.
right, I'll
Basic is
say
great.
you add if you feel anything.
All right.
So included in your packet tonight was your appropriation ordinance, which has been published for the public as well. And as we do typically, we are an appropriations town, not a budget town. So we take the budget numbers that you guys have previously seen, add 15 to 20% to that, which creates our numbers for the appropriation. So that's what is before you for discussion.
Which has to be filed with the county.
And the appropriations has to be filed with the county. So we do add the buffer.
What's
that
the
reason.
caveat that you can't exceed what,
You cannot exceed the money that we file for the appropriations.
hence the 15 or 20%?
Yes.
All right.
You can always spend less, but this is a ceiling.
Works for me.
Yep.
Yeah, the goal is to always spend less, but we always add that in case there is a
Right.
major catastrophe.
And you
there
never
are
know
funds
what's gonna
immediately Available.
And if we
Who knows?
have,
We could have another pandemic. We could
If
have
we-
monkeypox.
if we do have to go above our appropriations, then we'd have to do something special.
That's right.
Yep.
Just-
Any questions, discussion?
I've seen the budget. I'm okay with it. I can complain as the public if you'd like. You guys spend too much money, I'm just saying.
That's what you'll always do.
I know.
But on that, I will say, I really appreciate what last year during the budgeting, what the managers, our supervisors, treasurer, and our finance trustee did both together with the trustees of the different departments did. And in line with that, which come up with an almost balanced budget and then through the year to work to where we were in the ball. Us in a good position from last year. So I wouldn't expect any less from this.
Bill has questions.
Bill?
It keeps going back and forth in my mind. Do we have a balanced budget? Or are we making our budget balanced by putting some, into, from last year into this year? Is that how we're doing it?
So this year's budget was was balanced except for the pond project. And so that pond project could be paid off using money from our savings accounts, but we are choosing to try to go in under budget and allow the budget itself to be in the red. But
See,
last year we came under budget 1.8 million.
It's the
Hold on.
It's off because of our extra payments for the IEP.
That too. I was getting to that.
Oh.
Last year, we came in under budget 1.8 million, 1 point.
Something like
We
that.
came under budget over $1 million last year, so we feel that we'll be able to do something similar this year.
Mm.
But also
Okay.
included in that budget, as Brenda is mentioning, is the IEPA loan will be paid off without taking any money out of savings to do so.
So will we be in the black?
But we'll see.
That's the goal.
No, will we be in the black or is that just our
We'll
goal?
see
That's
April
the
30th,
goal.
2023.
Yeah, that's the goal. So the budget
Oh.
presented has a negative or is in the red. However, again, we came in $1.8 million under budget last year based on a balanced budget. So we think that we will be good to do that again this year.
It really, that just has to do with accounting. If we
It
were on an
does. Right.
accrual accounting system, then we would have put the park expenses in last year, because that's when we actually put
Yeah.
them, intended to spend them. So it's just how you account for it, if you carry over your surplus
Yeah.
into this year, then you would be in the black. But because we're on a cash basis, it'll look like you spent more money than you actually took in.
Yeah.
It's just accounting, but in base, we're in good shape.
We're in really.
Yeah,
good
very
shape.
good shape.
I remember the treasurer's report, but I can't remember how much we had over,
Was it
1.5 or 2?
It was like 1.8, 1.5.
that what it is?
It
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
something like that, but we
Mhm.
did at the end of the fiscal year last year, make $1 more million payment onto the IEPA, which
Mhm.
took some of that money. But you're right, had we rolled the money, we would have had a balanced budget, but we don't roll money from year to year.
What do we have left on the
Oh.
EPA?
1.5,
And we have more than that in savings, correct?
Yes.
correct.
All right.
Yes.
We're good.
I would say, when I did peruse the appropriation ordinance, we're all in this together, even the residents. We all do our homework and it's very difficult to guess what's going to happen in the future. And even with the state of affairs right now of the government at all levels, these are very tough and hard choices and times that we're living in. I believe that we are moving in the right direction, that we are doing the best we can under the prevailing circumstances. Nothing is easy. And I just wish us good luck in our endeavors. Thank you.
Any further discussion?
I don't have any. Nope. John,
No.
There is still no public.
did we want to wait a few minutes for the public or?
I don't know that they'll be attending this version.
Oh, you mean specifically? Yeah.
If everybody's okay, they can make a motion.
All right.
Well, hold on. Do we need to close the public hearing then?
Yeah, and just for the record, let's note that we invited public comment and that there was none. And then we'd have a motion to adjourn the hearing.
All right, since we invited public comment and we have none.
I thought Chris said he wanted to pose as a member.
I already explained that we spent too much money.
We all agree.
So he did. So we did have a member of the public.
So we need
right?
a motion.
To adjourn the public
I
hearing?
would like to make a motion to adjourn from the public.
Yeah.
Is that
Mhm,
correct?
that's right.
Second.
Nathan makes a motion to adjourn the public hearing. John seconds.
Yes.
Sure we did.
We do all in favor on that, right?
Can you do it all in favor?
Roll
Sure.
call.
I
All
mean,
right.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay.
now we are still in the midst of the special meeting that we called. And so if there's
We're out of the public hearing at 6:09.
So do we have to make a motion to pass the
Yes.
ordinance?
a motion to approve the ordinance, huh?
I'll make a motion to approve the ordinance number 22-07.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Why
Is
we
that-
close the door?
No.
No,
Oh, he's
no,
confused.
no,
Wait, wait.
no.
He's confused.
Start over.
Hold on.
It's open.
All right.
I'll wait.
No, you're used to closed session.
I'm
No.
sorry.
Yeah, no.
It's just a special meeting.
You're good.
I was wondering.
It's Nate's
Start
first
over.
one.
So
All right,
public
go.
still allowed in? even though
Yes.
we closed
It's a
them?
public hearing.
It's-
No, it's not.
The,
The actual hearing.
just
portion
closed
is
the hearing.
closed.
All right.
Meeting's still in.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so we have a meeting.
I'm
We-
confused
we
in
have
my job title over the door, so. I
We have a
apologize.
public hearing inside of a meeting.
I'm gonna
So
retrain.
we're actually
Other
gonna-
practice.
We
we're
don't
about
do
to have a
this often.
second one, yeah.
All right.
So I'll
Go ahead,
make
Chris.
a motion to approve ordinance number 22-07 appropriation ordinance.
Second.
Chris makes a motion to approve ordinance number 22-07, the appropriations ordinance. John seconds. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Jen,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes,
John,
Yes.
Nathan,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Williams absent. All right. Now you need to open the public hearing for acceptance of credit card.
Do we have to close the other hearing? or
It
not?
already did. That was
Already
the
did.
motion you made.
Yep.
That was
Opened it.
confusion.
I thought-
We need a motion.
So
to
the
open-
special meeting's still going, it's the.
Yeah, it's like a
okay,
Russian
got
doll setup.
Now we need
Yeah.
the public hearing on the
it,
second.
Gotcha.
Motion to open the public hearing
Do we need a
regarding.
motion for that or can Rick just claim?
No, we
it
just
as
call it to. call
Okay.
it to order.
Then we will claim it. The
Public hearing.
public hearing is open for the credit card payments, acceptance. of credit card payments.
This one, I'm gonna actually ask Mark to speak on.
Sure, so the local acceptance of credit cards, Local Government Acceptance of Credit Cards Act requires governmental entities to formally conduct a hearing in order to approve the acceptance of payment by credit card for various types of municipal debts. And I think I understand that this is, you guys have actually already been accepting credit card payments for a while, which is okay to the extent that it's true. But when we noticed that this requirement existed, we wanted to make sure you guys came into compliance. And one of the things that's going to be on your regular board meeting agenda tonight is for review.
No, I don't think it's on there tonight.
No, okay. At some future point,
Yeah.
you're going to be entertaining a specific contract with a specific credit card vendor that provides for an arrangement by which they'll be your credit card servicer and process the payments. But in the interim, before we get to that step, we have to first establish that you guys will in fact accept credit cards. That's what you choose to do. So we have an ordinance that was put together that provides in a pretty straightforward section. It's a I think it's a new section, we drafted it as a new section of the village code that provides for the acceptance of credit cards and addresses convenience fees, which of course are of interest to people. The statute controls the ceiling on convenience fees, and we simply ported that information in here. It's expressed as a percentage or a dollar figure cap, depending on the type of transaction. And what you're not allowed to do as a municipality is to profit from this arrangement. So it's like a pure pass through. You will assess on the end users, the customers are paying by credit card, whatever up to the limit that your credit card processing company assesses. So if the credit card processor assesses a 1.5% charge or whatever, that's what you guys will pass through. You're not allowed to, this is not a moneymaker for the city, but it is an opportunity to make payments more convenient and hopefully from your end, also perhaps make them payments more likely to be remitted when people aren't having to trek into Village Hall with their checkbooks or whatever the current setup is. So, I mean, I guess if there are questions, I'm happy to field them. It's been a little while since I drafted this this ordinance, but it provides in some detail for just the fact that you would accept credit card payments. Again, ports in the statutory limits regarding fees. It talks about on the second page of the draft ordinance, the types of payments that you would, the types of charges for which you'd accept credit card payments. And Sandy, is there anything major left out there? I think that's basically everything somebody might pay the village for.
Yes.
Yeah, so we just covered everything because it's, you have to authorize any category of payments. We authorized all of them. This does not prevent people from continuing to pay you with cash or coming with checks or whatever other sorts of arrangements. It just offers.
We don't take
You don't get
cash.
cash.
Okay,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
it neither expands nor diminishes the existing capabilities. to pay, it just adds one.
Were people able to pay for the permits with card before?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We pretty much need to allow it for everything. I do notice one thing missing, which is baseball registration fees, unless it falls into one of those categories.
It could be permit application fees.
It's based off, it's registration fees.
Okay.
So we might, when we come out of public.
Yeah,
hearing,
maybe
do
we'll have a
add
motion
that.
to approve as amended with section 2390 expanded to include register, I would just call it registration fees generally.
And is just this for residential or is this for all?
Everything. So, Mark will probably back me up on that. So this was technically supposed to have been done a long time ago. We're just, now that we are looking at a new credit card processor, we determined this was the time to make sure that we were in compliance.
I'm just looking at if we have a bill that's over $400, the 5% fee with them, we would be eating the difference of, is that how that works?
Yeah, it's gonna depend a little bit on your ultimate contract with your processor, but that's when we reviewed, and I think we've seen a couple of different vendors. And it's something we've always flagged because you're right, the way the math works out, if people are paying really significant, I think Sandy pointed out that like building permit fees tend to be your highest dollar figure thing, which can be, really significant.
Yeah.
And then when you apply that percentage, it's gonna go consistently over. So
See it, yeah.
so I mean, there's a couple ways you can approach that. If you don't want to eat the difference and your credit card vendor does not make an exception for those types of payments, you could, I suppose, require in those specific high dollar transactions that people not pay with credit card to avoid losing money on it, because you don't really want to lose money on it. You think you're
Right.
allowed to
I
profit.
think I think I have not discussed this with Brenda, but I think that the ultimate outcome is going to be if you are over a certain dollar amount, you'll need to use an ACH check, which has a flat fee of $2, so it would stay below the fees that we're allowed to charge,
Okay.
or they would need to pay via check or certified funds.
And-
Which is ultimately beneficial for them as well when you reach a certain dollar amount.
Sure.
In the fee.
Everyone saves money that way out
Yes.
of the deal, so,
Yes.
or benefits.
Does
from
that
the
have to be
situation.
written into the ordinance?
So that's will be addressed when you have your agreement with your credit card processing company. They will lay out the fees. What the ordinance can provide is we made the limits as high as they're allowed to be under the law. It's in the first page, the convenience fees. That's just verbatim taken from the authorizing statute. So we didn't make up the $20 or 5% or whatever. It's just, that's what's in there.
I mean, it just, yeah, it's a rough number. Hopefully it would be a lot less.
Oh, do you mean the active like prohibition of
Yes,
spending over a certain
Right.
threshold?
that's exactly what.
Oh, that's interesting.
Does it have to be in there? So otherwise somebody's gonna come in and say, hey, your ordinance says we can pay with a credit card and I wanna pay my $30,000 or whatever.
I like to feel that those are policy decisions. I'll.
I didn't know if that,
Mark, but-
that's why I asked him.
I mean, it's a policy decision that we don't take cash. That's not written in our ordinance.
Okay, I'm just asking
Yeah.
if that's an issue or not. I can see somebody coming.
Here's, you know what I would suggest? So I think probably the simplest way to address it is that same section 2-390 on the second page where we're already going to add registration fees to it.
Yeah.
If we converted the word shall in that opening sentence to may, I think that would give the flexibility to say no when it made sense to say no.
There you go. One word. makes sense.
Shall,
As amended.
yeah.
Are we going to accept cash at any level?
No.
No.
We haven't done that for.
I know, I thought I saw something in here
15
with that,
years.
and I said, what are we doing?
I think- I feel like it's 15 years.
13 years.
15. Mark,
I shouldn't say never. We try our hardest, but people mail us cash sometimes.
mail it, I'd be afraid it would never get here.
Agreed. And they're not local residents, so I can't just return it.
What do you do with that? Someone mails us money.
We process it.
You,
We don't have a choice.
And our-
That's why we don't take cash.
Yeah.
Somebody deposit.
It's on them if it disappears though.
It honestly,
It would be.
why are we mailing cash?
They should, the post office will tell you not to.
All right. Now we have that solved.
Um,
Any further
There is
discussion?
still no public.
Still no public.
But we're still allowing them to say something if they want to.
Doors open.
Absolutely. We've invited the public to speak and they have not shown up to speak or come in by remotely.
Right.
Nope.
A motion to adjourn this public hearing number 2.
Make a motion to adjourn the public hearing on the credit card payments.
A second.
Chris makes a motion to approve, or sorry, to adjourn, special meeting. I'm
Public
sorry,
hearing.
not special, public hearing on accepting credit card payments. Jen seconds. Favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no, nay.
I have a question. I have a question.
Go ahead.
No.
I
don't-
just seen in the the
No.
2-392.
I will sit here and let everyone
It
yell
is-
at you to close it from
yeah.
now on.
It has the word cash in there in the 2-392. Can we take that?
You didn't even.
I do
You
know
learned.
that now.
Yeah, that's not
Took me
true.
a
We
while
should
to
probably
learn.
strike
Yeah.
that as well. You're right.
Where?
Right,
Sandy, in the second sentence of 2-39, we can talk about this in a moment, but 2-392,
Oh,
it
okay.
references accept payments by cash, which I don't think I
Alright.
realized that you didn't. do
Somebody
that.
want
Eh,
to make,
Now
well,
that
But I
we're back
thought I
into the
saw, yeah.
special
you want?
meeting,
yeah. Do you want to simplify things by discussing those changes first and
Yes.
making the motion
Yes.
as amended? All right, so I think the three changes that we are looking to make to the proposed ordinance is section
2-390.
2390. The first payment, or the first sentence, which currently reads, the village shall accept payments by credit card for the following forms, will read, the village may accept payments by credit card for the following forms. We will add a form of indebtedness underneath there for registration fees. And then in section 2392, under other acceptance forms of payments, we will remove the word cash. Is that sufficient?
so we need a motion to amend.
Nope,
No,
motion
No.
to approve as amended.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 22-08 as amended by village clerk Sandra Moss, an ordinance amending the village code of Davis Junction to authorize exceptions of credit card payments.
second,
John makes a motion to approve ordinance number 22-08 as amended. Jen seconds. Roll call, please.
Yep, Bill,
Yes,
John,
Yes.
Nathan,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Williams absent, Jen.
yes,
Motion passes 622. Public,
Still no public remotely.
There's no one waiting on them. In the open doorway.
entertain a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Say.
John makes a motion to adjourn, Chris seconds. All in favor, say aye.
aye.
Opposed, say nay. Opposed, 622. Adjourned at 622.